Well, welcome. My name is Mary Larson, and I work for Trout Unlimited, the Pat Barnes chapter here in Montana, and we run a program called Trout in the Classroom.
Trout in the Classroom is a program offered at 11 schools and at Exploration Works in Helena. This 6-month program gives students an opportunity to observe how a fish develops from its hatching from an egg to being released into the wild. It all begins in December, as Mary Larson makes her way to 12 locations to set up the fish tanks for elementary students so they can learn how to be little scientists.
So we have 12 tanks, 30-gallon tanks just like this one, that we fill and get ready for rainbow trout. So the children will actually be raising rainbow trout from eggs. The eggs will come January 15th. It takes them about 3 weeks after they arrive to hatch. And then they go through the process of watching the different stages of the fish. They do water quality tests, they feed the fish, they watch survival of the fittest, they watch to see how the fish develop, and then in the springtime we release the fish back to Spring Meadow.
Before the rainbow trout eggs can be placed into the classroom fish tanks, a few steps must be completed. First, a dechlorinator is added to the water to remove the harmful chlorine. Then special live bacteria are added to the water to help promote good fish health and help keep the tanks clean. It takes 3 to 4 weeks for the bacteria to be fully established. Only then can the fish be introduced.
So today my job is to get the tank ready. So I'm going to get started. So some of our tanks are out in the public areas of the school, so all the kids can see them. Some of the tanks are in a classroom. The tanks that are in the classroom get a little more science with them than the tanks that are out in the hallways. So taking out, this is our filter. We have to have a filter to filter the water. It has a carbon filter that will go in it. And then we have an aerator. I call it the bubbler. Rainbow trout require high oxygen levels. So we run a aerator the entire time to give plenty of oxygen in the water for the fish. And then our big piece of equipment is a chiller. The fish like really cold water, so we keep the temperature about 52 to 54 degrees. And the chiller does that. It's kind of noisy. And then we try to emulate what would be out in a stream. So we have rocks that are about the size of a stream bed that a mother trout in the wild would lay her eggs. And here comes the fun part, making sure all the pieces are going to go back together. So the bubbler blows air into the water. Not only does it aerate the water, but it also emulates the stream flow so that the fish get used to a current. And then we have our filter. So each filter has a cartridge that has carbon in it that we put in, and we replace this 2 or 3 times throughout the whole process. Once the fishies are in there and eating and eliminating waste, which little fish will do. These get pretty dirty, so. All right, so now the next step is for me to haul waters.
In January, Mary receives about 3,000 eggs from the Jocko River Fish Hatchery in Arley, Montana. She goes to the 12 locations, dividing the eggs among the tanks. The eggs are called eye eggs because they have 2 black dots, which are the eyes. The eggs are 3 weeks old at this point and will take up to an additional 2 weeks to hatch. Every 10 days, Mary checks in on the tanks. She replaces out the old water with a fresh supply and makes sure the quality of new water is good. Mary teaches 3 lessons in each of the classrooms. The first lesson is on the hatchery and how eggs are harvested from the female fish. She gives the students a step-by-step guide on fish development, something they can observe right in their classroom. The students take notes on their scientific observations of the stages of fish development. The second lesson is all about students being good scientists. They learn how to ensure a sustainable habitat by testing so that the water temperature, pH, ammonia, and oxygen are maintained at a constant healthy level in order for the fish to thrive in nature.
Well, today we're going to talk about how to get these sack fry to fry and to fingerlings and keep them healthy so that in the spring we can release them in Spring Meadow. I can't be here every day, and things happen in the tank and happen quickly, and so I'm going to need you to be my scientists right here. We call it in the field. And things happen in the tank and happen quickly, and so I'm going to need you to be my scientists right here. We call it in the field. So when we have scientists working out away from a lab, we call it field work. So you are my field scientists. You're the ones that are going to help me know whether or not our tank is healthy for our fish.
After the young scientists observe the eggs transform into sack fries, then fries, and finally develop into small fingerlings, the fish can now be released. The third lesson occurs in the outdoors. The students venture to Spring Meadow Lake at the end of April to mid-May. At the lake, students learn about trout's natural habitat, what other creatures live in and around the lake, what trout eat, the water quality, and the further stages of development of the fish. One by one, the students release the fingerlings into the water. With excitement, they get to see the fish they watched grow in their classroom for the past months swim away into the fresh water. The Trout in the Classroom program teaches students how to be an integral part of nature in raising the fish from eggs to release. Teachers hope this will connect students to the natural world, helping them to develop a sense of conservation and understanding of healthy habitats for all species of the natural world. In raising the fish from eggs to release, the program gives students hands-on experience as scientists by witnessing the life cycle of the rainbow trout.